Have you ever felt like something is trying to pull you away from your center? Maybe it happened during prayer. You closed your eyes, you began to speak to God, and suddenly, your mind flooded with thoughts that felt foreign, doubts you didn't recognize as your own, fears that appeared out of nowhere, wrapping around your heart like cold fingers. Or maybe you've experienced those moments when you finally felt peaceful, connected, present, and then without warning, a wave of anxiety crashed over you, a heaviness you couldn't name, a restlessness that made no logical sense. You're not losing your mind, and you're not spiritually weak. You're not doing something wrong. You're not unworthy of divine connection. What you're experiencing is real, more real than most people are willing to acknowledge. There are forces operating beyond what we can perceive with physical eyes, energies that exist in the unseen realm. Forces that don't want you to remember your true nature, that don't want you to awaken to who you really are. Why? Because the moment you wake up, the moment you remember, the moment you activate your inner light, they lose their grip on you. For thousands of years, these forces have been called by different names. Ancient traditions called them Archons. Early Christianity referred to them as principalities and powers. Other spiritual paths call them astral entities, dense energies, forces of chaos and confusion. They're not the horned demons you were taught about in Sunday school. They're far more subtle than that, far more sophisticated. They feed on fear, on confusion, on disconnection, on spiritual amnesia, the forgetting of who you truly are. And their greatest fear, their only real weakness, is that you might discover what Jesus actually taught. Because Jesus didn't come only to preach love and forgiveness. Those teachings are vital, yes, but there was something else, something deeper, something most churches never talk about. Jesus came to show you how to protect your inner space, how to seal your energy field, how to create a frequency so high, a field of light so intense that no dark force can penetrate it. And he left something very specific, not just beautiful parables, not just moral teachings. He left 3 sacred objects, 3 spiritual tools that, when activated correctly, when used with conscious awareness, create an invisible barrier that Archons cannot cross. These aren't physical amulets you can purchase online. They're not complicated rituals you need to memorize. They're not magic words you repeat without understanding. They're something far more powerful than any of that. They're inner states, states of consciousness, states of being that activate through your awakened presence. If you've felt blocked in your spiritual life, if you've prayed and prayed but never truly connected, if you've read scripture but the words never came alive, if you feel like there's something deeper waiting for you, but you don't know how to access it, this message is for you. Because what Jesus revealed wasn't for everyone. He said it himself. To you, it has been given to know the mysteries of the kingdom. Not to everyone, to you, to those who are ready to awaken, to those who feel the inner calling, to those who refuse to settle for surface-level spirituality. And if you're here right now, listening to these words, paying attention even as your mind tries to distract you, it's not random. A calling from something deeper than your conscious mind. Let's discover what Jesus knew, what he taught, and why these 3 sacred objects have the power to change everything. For nearly 2,000 years, something essential was lost. Not destroyed, not erased, just simplified, condensed, translated and retranslated, organized into doctrines and systems and institutional structures. And in that process, the living experience became frozen belief. The inner journey became outer religion. The direct connection became mediated through priests and buildings and rules. Jesus spoke in parables because he understood something fundamental. Spiritual truth cannot be taught like mathematics. It cannot be memorized like history. It cannot be studied like science. It must be awakened. And one of the truths that rarely gets mentioned from pulpits, one that's been quietly set aside by mainstream Christianity, is this. Jesus knew about the existence of dark spiritual forces. He knew the inner path isn't just about peace and love and light. It's also about spiritual warfare. Not the kind fought with weapons or arguments or religious debates. The kind that happens in the invisible realm of consciousness itself. That's why Jesus didn't only teach love. He taught spiritual protection. He taught how to fortify your inner world, how to seal your sacred space. In ancient texts that didn't make it into the official Bible, the Gnostic Gospels discovered at Nag Hammadi, the writings of early Christian mystics, the Hermetic Christian texts, there's explicit discussion of the Archons. They're described as rulers of the material realm, governors of confusion and chaos, forces that operate in the dense frequencies of fear, shame, guilt, and spiritual forgetfulness. They're like parasites of consciousness. They feed on ignorance, on disconnection, on the belief that you're separate from the divine source. But here's the crucial insight, the thing that changes everything. They're not all powerful. In fact, they're remarkably weak against one specific thing: awakened consciousness. When a person awakens, when they remember who they truly are, when they activate their inner light, the Archons simply cannot approach. It's as if you're vibrating at a frequency so high that you become invisible to them, unreachable, protected by your own elevated state of being. And Jesus knew exactly how to awaken that consciousness. He knew how to activate an inner field so luminous, so elevated, so pure, that no dark force could come near it. He didn't do it through complicated ceremonies. He didn't do it through magical incantations. He didn't do it through external objects or talismans. He did it through something much simpler and much more powerful. He revealed 3 sacred objects. But understand, these weren't physical objects you could hold in your hand. They weren't things you could buy in the marketplace or find in nature. They were inner realities, spiritual instruments, states of being. 3 tools that any human being can activate, if they know how. The first sacred object is something you carry with you every single moment, something you do thousands of times each day without thinking about it. But when done consciously, it completely transforms your inner state and creates a field of protection. The second sacred object is something Jesus practiced every single night, away from the crowds, in secret. Something the Gospels mention but rarely explain. Something that shifted his energy, elevated his frequency, and connected him directly to what he called the Father. And the third sacred object is the most powerful of all. It creates an invisible seal around your entire being, a protective light that Archons cannot penetrate, a field of grace that makes you untouchable to dark forces. These 3 objects, when activated together, form what the Christian contemplative tradition calls the armor of light. It's not symbolic. It's not metaphorical. It's experiential, it's real, it can be measured in your body, your energy field, your state of consciousness. And today, in this video, you're going to discover exactly what these 3 sacred objects are. You're going to understand why Jesus revealed them, why they're so powerful, and why they've been so rarely explained clearly in mainstream churches. And you're going to learn how to activate them, tonight, in the privacy of your own room, without needing intermediaries, without needing complicated rituals, without needing ancient books. Just you, your consciousness, and the sacred presence that has always lived within you. Before we go further, before I reveal these 3 sacred objects, I need you to understand something crucial. If you've ever prayed and felt nothing happen, if you've ever reached out to God and encountered only silence, if you've ever opened your Bible and found the words flat and lifeless, if you've ever wondered why your spiritual life feels empty despite your best efforts, it's not your fault. It's not because your faith is insufficient. It's not because God isn't listening. It's not because you're doing something wrong. It's not because you're unworthy or broken or too far gone. None of that is true. What happened is that over centuries, across generations and translations and theological debates, something essential was lost in how we were taught to approach the sacred. Prayer became repetition, words spoken without feeling, phrases repeated without consciousness or presence. Faith became blind belief, accepting without questioning, following without understanding. Spirituality became obedience to external rules, attending church on Sundays, following rituals you don't fully comprehend, accepting what the pastor or priest says without connecting it to your lived experience. But Jesus never taught that. Never. If you read the Gospels carefully, if you look at what Jesus actually said rather than what people told you he said, you'll see something different. He taught an inner path, a path of direct experience, a path where you, without intermediaries, without institutions, without external validation, can connect with the source of all light. The kingdom of God is within you, he said in Luke 17:21. Within, not outside, not in the temple, not in the church building, not in any human institution, within you. And that inner path, that inner kingdom, included something that's rarely mentioned in sermons: conscious spiritual protection. Because Jesus knew something that organized religion often forgot. The moment you begin to awaken, the moment you start remembering who you truly are, the moment you activate your inner light, certain forces will attempt to derail you. Not physical forces you can see with your eyes, not people who attack you, but invisible forces, subtle forces, very real forces, thoughts that aren't yours, emotions that appear from nowhere, doubts that assault you just when you're making progress, distractions that pull you from your center precisely when you're about to go deeper. The ancient Gnostics, those early Christians who practiced Jesus' inner teachings, called them Archons. Jesus knew them well. He spoke of them when he mentioned the prince of this world, when he talked about principalities and powers. And that's exactly why he left clear instructions, not in the form of rigid dogma, not in the form of rules you must blindly obey, but in the form of practice, of experience, of inner work. 3 sacred objects that, when you activate them consciously, when you use them with clear intention, create a field of spiritual protection so strong that no low-vibration energy can penetrate it. No mental voice that isn't yours can invade you. No dense emotion can dominate you. No dark force can divert you from your path. Now, if this resonates with you, if you feel there's something deeper waiting for you on your spiritual journey, if you sense that what you've experienced in religious settings so far hasn't been enough, I invite you to subscribe to this channel, because we're not here to repeat what you already know. We're not here to teach you religion. We're not here to give you more of the same stuff you've heard for years in church. We're here to accompany you in the awakening of your inner consciousness. Every video I create is designed to take you deeper into the path Jesus actually taught. Not the path people told you he taught. The real path. The path of direct experience. The path of the inner Christ. The path of the kingdom within. So if you feel the calling, if something in your chest is opening as you hear these words, subscribe. Turn on notifications. Because this is just the beginning of a journey that will transform your life from the inside out, not from the outside, not through rules, not through empty rituals, from within, from your consciousness, from your inner light. Now, let's return to the 3 sacred objects. The first one is something that, when you discover it, you'll wonder why nobody ever told you before, because it's so close to you that you overlook it every single day, thousands of times each day. It's in you. It's part of you. And yet almost nobody uses it consciously. Jesus used it. Christian mystics used it. Contemplatives across all traditions knew it. And now you're going to know it too. The first sacred object Jesus revealed is your conscious breath. Yes, something that simple, something that ordinary, something you do approximately 20,000 times each day without a single thought, and yet so profoundly forgotten in its spiritual power. But wait, I'm not talking about any breath. I'm not talking about the automatic act of inhaling and exhaling that your body performs while you sleep. I'm talking about breath that becomes prayer, breath that becomes a bridge between your physical body and your eternal spirit, breath that becomes a portal to the sacred. In the Gospel of John chapter 20, verse 22, Jesus does something most people read right past without understanding its significance. He says, "Receive the Holy Spirit." And when he speaks these words, he does something very specific. He breathes on his disciples, the breath, the wind, the spirit breath. Why did he do that? Why not just speak the words? Why was the physical gesture of breathing necessary? Because Jesus knew something modern religion forgot. Spirit isn't some abstract thing floating in the clouds. Spirit enters you with every inhalation. Look at the original words. In Hebrew, the word for spirit is ruach. And do you know what it literally means? Breath, wind, moving air. When Genesis says God breathed into man the breath of life, it uses the word ruach. Spirit and breath are the same word. In Greek, it's pneuma, breath. That's where we get the word pneumonia, related to the lungs. In Latin, spiritus, breath. That's where we get the word inspire, to breathe spirit in. Do you see the pattern? Do you see what's being revealed here? Spirit isn't separate from your body. It doesn't exist only in another dimension. Spirit flows through your breath. It enters you with each inhalation. It moves through you with each exhalation. And this isn't poetry, it's spiritual physiology. Jesus knew this. That's why when he prayed, especially when he prayed deeply, he didn't just speak words, he breathed consciously. He connected with the divine breath flowing through all living things, with the ruach, with the pneuma, with the spiritus. And here's the secret the Archons don't want you to know. They cannot approach someone who breathes consciously. They can't. Why? Because conscious breathing does something very specific to your energy field. It anchors you in the present moment. It pulls you out of the past where regret lives. It pulls you out of the future where anxiety dwells. It places you exactly here, exactly now. And the Archons, those forces of confusion and chaos, operate precisely in psychological time, in the past and future, in guilt and fear. But they cannot operate in the pure present, in the conscious now. When you breathe consciously, when each inhalation is an act of presence, when each exhalation is an act of release, you create a field of light, a field of presence, a field where only the sacred can dwell. The Archons can't enter there, literally cannot. It's like fire trying to enter water. The frequencies simply don't match. When you breathe consciously, you activate the first sacred object. Now, this isn't just ancient spiritual wisdom. Modern science confirms it. Studies on breathwork and meditation show that when you slow your breathing to about 6 breaths per minute, when you make your exhalation longer than your inhalation, something remarkable happens in your body. Your nervous system shifts. You move from sympathetic activation, the stress response, into parasympathetic dominance, the rest and restore state. Your heart rate variability increases, which is a marker of resilience and health. Your brain waves shift from beta, the busy thinking mind, into alpha and theta, the meditative creative states. Your body releases neurotransmitters, serotonin, oxytocin, endorphins, the chemistry of peace, connection, and well-being. And here's what's fascinating. Your body generates an electromagnetic field that can be measured several feet away from you. When you breathe consciously, when your heart enters coherent rhythm, that field harmonizes. You literally affect the space around you. You affect people near you. You affect the invisible energetic realm. This isn't magic, it's physics. And what Jesus taught 2,000 years ago, what mystics practiced for centuries, what ancient texts described, modern science is now confirming with data and measurements. Your consciousness changes your biology. Your biology changes your energy field. And your energy field changes your relationship with the invisible world. The Archons aren't demons with pitchforks. They're low frequencies, energies of fear, confusion, separation, chaos. And when you elevate your frequency through conscious breath, when you anchor yourself in the present moment through intentional breathing, when you create coherence in your system, you simply cannot resonate with those low frequencies anymore. It's like trying to tune into an AM radio station when you're vibrating at FM frequency. There's no way to connect. This is what Jesus knew. This is what he practiced. This is what he taught to those who had ears to hear. The first sacred object, conscious breath. Not complicated, not esoteric, not requiring years of training. Just you, your attention, and the breath that's been with you since your first moment of life. But there's a second sacred object. And this one Jesus practiced in absolute secrecy, away from the crowds in the silence of the night. And when you discover what it is, you'll understand why it has the power to completely shift your inner reality. The second sacred object is something Jesus spoke about explicitly, but in a way that most people have completely misunderstood for 2,000 years. In Matthew 6:6, Jesus says something very specific. Listen carefully, but when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is in secret. The secret room. For centuries, for almost 2 millennia, this has been interpreted literally as a physical room, a material space where you lock yourself away to pray alone. And yes, physical privacy helps. External silence facilitates inner stillness. But Jesus was pointing to something far deeper, something you can access at any moment in any place, even in the middle of a crowded room. The secret room is your inner space. It's that sanctuary within you that exists beyond the reach of the outer world. It's the temple no one can destroy. It's the sacred place you can retreat to without moving your body a single inch. Jesus knew that the outer world is full of noise, of distractions, of voices shouting, of opinions attacking, of energies trying to influence you, control you, manipulate you. That's why he taught his closest disciples to create a sacred inner space, a place where only you and the divine can meet. And this space isn't created with brick walls. It isn't made with wooden doors. It's created with conscious intention. Every time you close your eyes and turn inward, every time you choose mental silence in the midst of chaos, every time you decide not to react to external stimuli but instead remain centered in your core, you're activating the second sacred object. You're entering the secret room. And here's what's powerful, what changes everything. The Archons cannot enter there. They can't. Because that space is yours. It's your spiritual sovereignty. It's your inner kingdom. And you decide who enters and who doesn't. When someone criticizes you, when someone tries to make you feel small, when someone projects their negativity onto you, if you're in your secret room, if you're centered in your inner space, those words, those energies, those projections simply bounce off. They have no way to penetrate. It's like having an invisible shield, an energetic force field. The kingdom of God is within you, Jesus said in Luke 17:21. Not in the Jerusalem temple, not in the synagogue, not in any external institution, within you. And when you consciously enter that inner space, when you activate the secret room, you create a vibrational frequency so elevated that no low vibration energy can resonate with you. It's spiritual physics. It's how the universe operates at the invisible level. Think of it this way. Imagine your consciousness as a room with a door. Most people leave that door wide open all the time. Every thought can walk in. Every emotion can invade. Every external energy can enter uninvited. The Archons love that. They thrive on it. Because when your door is open, when you have no boundaries, when you have no sacred inner space, you're vulnerable to every passing influence. But when you learn to close the door, now when you learn to create boundaries in your consciousness, when you establish your secret room, everything changes. You become selective about what you allow into your inner world. You become discerning about which thoughts you engage with. You become sovereign over your own consciousness. This is what Jesus practiced every night. The Gospels tell us he would go up to the mountain to pray, away from the disciples, away from the crowds, alone. What was he doing? He was entering his secret room. He was going into that inner sanctuary where only he and the Father existed, where no external noise could reach, where no Archon could penetrate. And from that place of deep inner stillness, from that secret room of consciousness, he would receive guidance, clarity, power, peace. The same is available to you, right now, this moment. You don't need to go to a mountain. You don't need to be in a church. You don't need special circumstances. You just need to turn inward, to close the door of your consciousness to the outer chaos, to establish your sacred inner space. And the beautiful thing is, once you learn to enter your secret room, you can access it anywhere. In the middle of a stressful workday, you can close your eyes for 30 seconds and enter your secret room. In the middle of a difficult conversation, you can remain centered in your secret room even while speaking. In the middle of chaos and noise and confusion, you can retreat to your secret room and find peace. It's portable. It's always available. It's yours. The mystics knew this. Teresa of Avila called it the interior castle. She described 7 rooms within the soul, each one deeper than the last. And in the innermost room, she said, that's where God dwells. That's where the soul finds its true home. John of the Cross spoke of the same reality. He called it the center of the soul, the place where divine union happens, the place where the soul and God become one. They weren't inventing new doctrines. They were experiencing what Jesus taught 1,500 years before them. The secret room, the inner sanctuary, the kingdom within. This is the second sacred object, but there's a third one, and this is the most powerful of all. It's the one that seals everything, the one that completes the protection, the one that makes your energy field completely impenetrable to any dark force. This third sacred object is something Jesus mentioned constantly, but it's rarely understood in its true spiritual depth. The third sacred object is what I call the inner name. But understand, I'm not talking about the name Jesus as a magic word. I'm not talking about a religious formula you repeat mechanically. I'm talking about the sacred name that resonates within you when you remember who you truly are, when you awaken to your real spiritual identity. In Colossians 1:27, Paul says something with absolute clarity. Christ in you, the hope of glory. Christ in you. Not outside, not in heaven, not in some distant place. In you. Now, Christ isn't just a man who lived 2,000 years ago in Palestine. Christ is a state of consciousness. It's the divine light that dwells in every human being. It's the spark of the eternal that lives in you. And when you remember that, when you activate that inner identity, when you recognize yourself not just as a mortal body, not just as a confused mind, but as a carrier of the Christ light, in that moment, no Archon can touch you. None. Because the Archons feed on confusion, on forgetfulness, on disconnection from your true essence, on the belief that you're small, weak, insignificant, separate from God. But when you remember who you are, when you activate the Christ within, when you declare internally, from the deepest place in your being, I am light, I am a living temple, Christ dwells in me. In that moment you become untouchable. This is what Jesus meant when he said, I and the Father are one. He wasn't claiming to be the only Son of God in all history. He was revealing a state of consciousness, a realization, an awakening, and he was showing us that the same realization is available to us. These things I do, you will do also, and greater things than these, he said. He wasn't speaking about religious rituals. He was speaking about consciousness, about remembering your divine nature, about activating the Christ within. The inner name isn't a word you speak aloud. It's a reality you embody. It's an identity you claim. It's a frequency you activate. In the mystical Jewish tradition, there's a teaching about the sacred name of God, the Tetragrammaton, YHWH. It's considered too holy to speak aloud. But here's the secret. It's not just God's name. It's the sound of breathing. Yod-He-Vav-He. Try it. Breathe in, Yod-He. Breathe out, Vav-He. It's the sound of breath itself, the sound of life, the sound of spirit moving through you. Every breath you take is speaking the name of God, but most people breathe unconsciously. They speak the name without knowing it. They carry the divine within them without recognizing it. When you breathe consciously, the first sacred object, and you enter your secret room, the second sacred object, and from that place you remember your true identity, the third sacred object, you activate a complete field of spiritual protection. You're not just protecting yourself, you're transforming yourself. You're elevating your entire being into a higher frequency, and at that frequency, the Archons simply cannot exist near you. It's not that you're fighting them, you're not battling them. You're not engaging in spiritual warfare the way most people imagine it. You're simply rising above them, vibrating at a frequency they cannot reach, becoming invisible to them by becoming more visible to the divine. Think of it like this. Darkness isn't a force you fight. Darkness is the absence of light. You don't battle darkness. You turn on the light, and darkness disappears automatically. The Archons are like that. They're not powerful beings you need to war against. They're frequencies of fear and confusion that dissolve in the presence of awakened consciousness. When you activate the three sacred objects together, first, you breathe consciously, anchoring yourself in the present moment and creating a field of presence. Second, you enter your secret room, establishing your sacred inner space where only the divine can dwell. Third, you remember your true identity, activating the Christ consciousness within you. These three together create what Paul called the armor of God in Ephesians 6. Not literal armor, not physical protection, but a field of consciousness so elevated, so pure, so aligned with divine frequency that no low vibration force can penetrate it. The sword of the Spirit, that's your conscious awareness cutting through illusion. The shield of faith, that's your unshakable knowing of who you truly are. The helmet of salvation, that's the protection of your mind through awakened consciousness. It all points to the same reality, spiritual protection through elevated consciousness. This is what Jesus taught. This is what he lived. This is what he demonstrated. And he said clearly, the works that I do, you will do also. Not because you're becoming a new Messiah, but because you're activating the same Christ consciousness that he embodied. The three sacred objects, conscious breath, the bridge between physical and spiritual, the secret room, your inviolable inner sanctuary, the inner name, the Christ in you, your true identity. And when all three activate together, when you use them consciously, when they become your daily practice, something shifts, something profound, something real. Perhaps As you're listening to this, something in your body is already responding. Maybe you feel a subtle warmth in your chest, or a tingling sensation around your heart, or an inner quietness that wasn't there a few minutes ago, or perhaps simply your breath has become slower, deeper, more conscious. That's not coincidence. That's not your imagination. That's not psychological suggestion. Because these words aren't designed only for your rational mind. They're not designed merely for intellectual understanding. They're designed to awaken something in your body. Something that's always been there, waiting to be activated. Your body knows, your body remembers. Even though your mind may have forgotten who you are, even though religion may have taught you that you're just a worthless sinner, even though society may have conditioned you to believe you're only a mortal body, your body never forgot that you're a spiritual being, that you're not just flesh and bone, that you're a living temple of light, that every cell of your being carries the signature of the divine. And when you begin to breathe consciously, when you enter your secret room, when you activate the Christ within, your body responds. It's not metaphorical, it's literal, it's physiological, it's real. Maybe you're feeling it right now. Pay attention. Don't force anything. Just observe. Maybe you sense that your breathing has become slower, deeper, more aware of itself. Maybe you feel something in your chest opening. Like an internal door that's been locked for years is finally being unlatched. Like a space that's been compressed is beginning to expand. Maybe you feel warmth, peace, a stillness that doesn't come from outside but from within. That's real. It's not suggestion. It's not imagination. It's not self-deception. It's your spirit recognizing truth. It's your body responding to the frequency of the sacred. It's your entire being entering alignment with its true nature. Because Jesus never taught abstract spirituality. He never taught concepts that float only in your head. He taught embodied spirituality. Spirituality that's felt, that's lived, that transforms your body, not just your mind. When you activate the three sacred objects, when you use them consciously, your body enters a different state, a state that modern science is beginning to measure and understand, a state that mystics have known for millennia. Science calls it coherence. It's when your heart enters harmonious rhythm, when your nervous system exits fight or flight mode and enters deep calm, when your brain produces alpha and theta waves, the waves of meditation and creativity. Mystics call it the state of grace, presence, illumination. Jesus called it the kingdom within. It's that moment, that state, where your heart, mind, and spirit enter perfect harmony, where your entire being vibrates at the same frequency, where there's no internal conflict, no division, only unity. And when that happens, when you enter that state, your energy field elevates, your vibrational frequency shifts, your very presence transforms, and the Archons, those forces that feed on fear, on confusion, on mental chaos, on internal division, simply cannot resonate with you. It's as if you're vibrating at a frequency so high, so luminous, so elevated, that they can't even detect you, like you're invisible to them. Not because you're hiding, but because you're vibrating in a different dimension of consciousness. And this isn't mystical theory without basis. It's something you can experience right now, in this moment, as you listen to these words. Breathe deeply, slowly, with all your attention on the air entering. Feel the air coming in through your nose. Feel how it fills your lungs. Feel how your chest expands. Feel how it touches every cell in your body. Now exhale, slowly, with consciousness, with intention. Release everything that doesn't belong to you. Every thought that isn't yours, every emotion that didn't originate from you, every energy that doesn't resonate with your true essence. With each breath, you're activating the first sacred object. You're elevating your frequency. You're creating a field of light. Now close your eyes for a moment, just a few seconds. If you're driving, obviously don't do this, but if you're in a safe place, close your eyes. Imagine that you enter an inner space, a sacred place within you, a sanctuary that's completely yours, a place where no one can enter without your permission, no invasive thoughts, no foreign emotions, no external energies, no Archons. Feel how that space is yours, absolutely yours, your secret room, your inner kingdom. Second sacred object activated. Now, from that inner space, from that deep silence, from that sacred sanctuary, remember this: you're not just your thoughts. You're not just your emotions. You're not just your circumstances. You're not just this body that will one day cease to exist. You're much more than that. You are light. You are eternal consciousness. You are a carrier of the Christ within. You are a living temple of the divine. And when you remember that, when you feel it in your body, not just as an idea but as lived truth, when it becomes more than a concept and turns into experience, third sacred object activated, and in this moment, right now, you're protected. You're sealed. You're in a state of grace. No Archon can approach you. No low vibration energy can penetrate your field. No dark force can divert you from your path. I'd love to know where in the world you're listening from. Write it in the comments. Not just your country or city, but also how you're feeling right now in this moment after activating these three sacred objects. Do you feel peace? Do you feel calm? Do you feel something awakening inside you? Tell me, because this is a community, a collective field of awakening. And every person here, every soul who feels this calling is part of something larger, an awakening happening across the entire planet, an elevation of consciousness transforming the world from within. So tell me, where are you listening from? What are you feeling? Now, I know you might be wondering, where does all this come from? Is this really what Jesus taught? Does this have biblical foundation? Or is this just modern interpretation? And the answer is yes, it has foundation, deep foundation, but not in the way mainstream religion presented it to you. Because what we're talking about here isn't new. It's not a 21st century invention. It's ancient. It's what early Christians practiced before Christianity became a political institution. Let's go to the Bible first. To the text everyone recognizes as authoritative. In Ephesians 6:12, the Apostle Paul says something very clear, something most people read but few understand in depth. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. Read that again, slowly. Paul is saying that spiritual battle isn't against flesh and blood people. It's not against your neighbor, not against your boss, not against whoever thinks differently than you. The battle is against invisible forces, against principalities, against powers, against rulers of darkness. And what are these rulers of darkness? They're exactly what the Gnostics called Archons, forces operating in the invisible plane, energies governing from darkness, from ignorance, from confusion. And Paul, who was instructed directly by Jesus, as he himself says in Galatians, knew what he was talking about. In that same chapter, Ephesians 6, Paul speaks of the armor of God, and he describes each piece: the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, the shield of faith, the helmet of salvation, the sword of the Spirit. Is it literal? Are we talking about physical armor? No, it's symbolic. But it symbolizes something real, a field of spiritual protection activated through awakened consciousness. And that's exactly what the three sacred objects create: an armor of light, an energy field protecting your inner being. Now, in the Gnostic texts, which are early Christian writings that didn't make it into the official Bible, but which many scholars consider as ancient as the canonical Gospels, there's direct discussion of the Archons. In the Gospel of Philip, it says, "The Archons wanted to deceive man because they saw he had kinship with those who are truly good. They took the name of the good and gave it to what is not good, so that through names they might deceive and bind them to what is not good." See what it's saying? The Archons operate through deception, through confusion, calling good what isn't good, diverting you from your true essence. In the Apocryphon of John, another Gnostic text, the Archons are described as rulers of the material world, attempting to keep souls trapped in ignorance. But something crucial is also said, that they have no power over those who have awakened, over those who have activated their inner light, over those who know their true identity. In the Gospel of Thomas, which many believe contains the purest words of Jesus, there's a saying that summarizes everything. If you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. What's within you? The light, the consciousness, the inner Christ, the three sacred objects. And when you bring it forth, when you activate it, when you make it conscious, it saves you, it protects you, it elevates you. But if you don't bring it forth, if you remain asleep, if you live unconsciously, what you don't bring forth, that dormant light, becomes inner darkness, becomes confusion, becomes fertile ground for the Archons. Now, let's take this to the Christian contemplative tradition, to mystics recognized by the official church. Saint Teresa of Avila in the 16th century wrote about the interior castle. She described 7 rooms within the soul, 7 levels of spiritual depth. And she said that in the central room, in the deepest interior, in the core of being, that's where God dwells, that's where the soul finds its true home, that's where mystical union occurs. She didn't invent this. She simply experienced and described what Jesus had taught 1500 years earlier with the secret room, the inner sacred space. St. John of the Cross, Teresa's contemporary, spoke of the living flame of love, an inner light burning in the heart of one who has spiritually awakened. And he said that flame, that inner light, consumes everything that isn't divine. It purifies, it transforms, it elevates. The Archons, in his language, were the impurities of the soul, the attachments keeping the spirit captive. And the way to liberation wasn't through external penances, not through corporal punishment, not through extreme fasting. It was through inner presence, through conscious union with the divine, through activation of inner light. The Desert Fathers, those Christian monks of the early centuries who retreated to the Egyptian desert, practiced what they called prayer of the heart, or the Jesus prayer. It consisted of repeating internally with each breath a sacred phrase. The most common was, "Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me." What were they doing? They were combining the 3 sacred objects: conscious breath in a retreat, the secret room in the desert, sacred name, invocation of Christ. And they reported exactly what we're talking about. When they practiced this, the temptations of the devil, their language for Archons, couldn't approach. Now even modern science confirms part of this. Studies on meditation and conscious breathing, conducted at universities like Harvard, Stanford, and Oxford, show something fascinating. When you enter states of cardiac coherence, when your breathing becomes slow and conscious, when your heart enters harmonious rhythm, your nervous system completely shifts. You exit sympathetic mode, fight or flight. You enter parasympathetic mode, calm and restoration. Your brain releases neurotransmitters, serotonin, oxytocin, dopamine, chemicals of peace, love, and well-being. Your immune system strengthens, your blood pressure decreases, your heart rate stabilizes. And here's what's fascinating. Your body generates an electromagnetic field that can be measured several feet away from you. When that field is in coherence, in harmony, in elevated frequency, you literally affect the space around you. You affect people near you. You affect the invisible energy field. This isn't esoteric magic. It's measurable physics. And what Jesus taught 2,000 years ago, what mystics practiced for centuries, what ancient texts described, now science is confirming with data and measurements. Your consciousness changes your biology. Your biology changes your energy field. And your energy field changes your relationship with the invisible world. The Archons, in modern language, are low frequencies, energies of fear, confusion, separation, chaos. And when you elevate your frequency through the 3 sacred objects, when you breathe consciously, when you enter your secret room, when you activate the Christ within, you simply cannot resonate with those low frequencies. It's like trying to tune into an AM radio station when you're vibrating at FM frequency. There's no way to connect. This is what Jesus knew, this is what he taught, this is what was simplified over time, but has always remained available for those who seek deeper. And the truth is still here, waiting for you, ready to be activated, right now. In your life, in your body, in your consciousness. Now we're going to do something together, something concrete, something practical. I'm going to guide you through a very simple experience, something you can do tonight before you sleep, something that requires no years of practice, something that will activate the 3 sacred objects in a concrete, tangible, real way. You don't need anything external. You don't need candles. You don't need incense. You don't need special music. You don't need to be in a temple or church. Just your body, just your consciousness, just your intention. Find a place where you can be alone for a few minutes. It can be your bedroom. It can be the bathroom. It can be any space where you feel peaceful and uninterrupted. Sit comfortably, or lie down if you prefer. What matters isn't perfect posture. What matters is that your body is relaxed, that there's no unnecessary tension. If you're sitting, keep your back relatively straight, but not rigid. If you're lying down, simply rest. Now close your eyes. This is the beginning of entering your secret room. We're going to activate the first sacred object, conscious breath. Inhale slowly through your nose. Count to 4 as the air enters. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel the air entering. Feel how your lungs expand. Feel how your chest rises. Feel how your entire body receives the breath. Hold the air for 2 seconds. 1, 2. Now exhale slowly through your mouth. Count to 6 as the air leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 6. Feel the air leaving. Feel how everything relaxes. Feel how you release. Feel how you let go. Repeat this 3 times, 3 complete cycles of conscious breathing, slowly, without rushing, with all your attention on the breath. As you breathe, feel how each inhalation brings light. You don't have to visualize anything complicated. Simply feel that with each inhalation, something luminous enters you. And with each exhalation, you release what you don't need. You release stress. You release fear. You release confusion. You release what isn't yours. This isn't empty imagination. It's conscious intention. And conscious intention has real power, measurable power, transformative power. Now, while continuing to breathe naturally, not forced, we're going to activate the second sacred object, the secret room. With eyes still closed, imagine that within you, there's a sacred space. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It can be simple. It can be a room of white and golden light. It can be an inner garden full of peace. It can be a luminous temple. It can be simply a space of stillness. It doesn't matter how you see it. What matters is that you feel that space is yours, completely yours. Feel its boundaries. Feel that there's an invisible frontier, a door, a threshold, and on the other side of that threshold is the noise of the world, the worries, the opinions of others, the energies that don't belong to you, the Archons. But inside your secret room, inside your sacred space, only what you permit can enter, only what you invite can dwell. No one can enter without your permission. No invasive thoughts, no foreign emotions, no dense energies, no dark forces. This is your sanctuary, your inner kingdom, your place of power. Feel how you enter deeper into that space. Feel how all mental noise stays outside. Feel how, here inside, there's only silence, only peace, only presence. From that inner space, from that sacred place, we're now going to activate the third sacred object, the inner name. You're not going to say anything aloud. This is completely internal. This happens in the silence of your deepest being. From the center of your secret room, from the deepest part of your consciousness, repeat internally this phrase, slowly, feeling each word. I am light. I am a living temple. Christ dwells in me. Repeat it, slowly, with intention, with conviction. I am light. I am a living temple. Christ dwells in me. This isn't an empty mantra. It's not mechanical repetition. It's a declaration of your true identity. It's a reminder of who you really are. Repeat it a third time, feeling how each word resonates in your chest, in your heart, in your entire being. I am light. I am a living temple. Christ dwells in me. Feel how these words aren't just concepts. Feel how they're truth. Feel how they activate something in you. Something that's always been there, but perhaps you've never consciously activated. And now, from that state of presence, from that state of elevated consciousness, imagine that a golden light begins to radiate from your heart. Don't force anything. Simply allow. That light expands. It fills your entire body. It fills every cell, every organ, every internal space. And then, that light expands beyond your physical body. It emerges from you. It creates a luminous field around you. A field of protection. A field of grace, a spiritual seal, and in that field only the sacred can exist. Only light can dwell. Only what is elevated can resonate. The Archons, those energies of confusion, of fear, of separation, simply cannot approach, because your frequency is too high, your light is too intense, your field is too pure. Remain in this state for a few minutes, breathing, feeling, being. You don't need to do anything more. Just be, just exist. Just allow the light to do its work. And when you're ready, when you feel it's time, slowly open your eyes. Return, but you don't return the same. You return sealed, protected, activated. This practice is something you can do every night, before sleep, or every morning upon waking, or whenever you feel you need spiritual protection, whenever you sense dense energies trying to approach. It's simple, it's powerful, and it's what Jesus taught. The phrase I want you to carry with you from today is this: I am light, I am a living temple, Christ dwells in me. Repeat it when you wake up. Repeat it before you sleep. Repeat it when you feel fear. Repeat it when you feel confusion. And each time you repeat it, you're activating the third sacred object. You're remembering who you are. You're sealing your field of light. I want you to know something important, something that might bring you relief and confirmation. What you just experienced isn't strange. It's not weird. It's not New Age. It's not esoteric in the sense of being inaccessible or dangerous. It's ancient. It's deeply Christian. It's profoundly human. And it's been practiced by thousands of people, by recognized saints, by venerated mystics throughout all of history. The Desert Fathers, those courageous Christian monks of the early centuries, retreated to arid caves in the Egyptian desert, far from cities, far from noise, far from the world's distractions. And what did they do there? Exactly this. They practiced conscious breathing. They entered their inner secret room. They activated Christ's presence in their being. One of them, St. Anthony the Great, considered the father of Christian monasticism, spoke of the noonday demons. He wasn't referring to beings with horns and pitchforks. He was referring to thoughts that invaded his mind precisely when he was in deep prayer. Thoughts of doubt, of confusion, of distraction, internal voices trying to divert him from his center. And how did he overcome them? Not by fighting them, not by battling them directly. That only gave them more power. He overcame them by elevating his consciousness, by entering deeper into his secret room, by activating more intensely Christ's presence within him, exactly what you just did. Saint Teresa of Avila, one of the great mystics of the Catholic Church, officially recognized Doctor of the Church, wrote in the 16th century about her interior castle. She described 7 rooms within the soul, 7 levels of spiritual depth, and she said that in the central room, in the most interior, in the core of being, that's where God dwells. That's where the soul finds its true home. That's where mystical union occurs. She didn't invent anything new. She simply experienced and described what Jesus had taught 1,500 years before her with the secret room. Teresa didn't create a new doctrine. She lived an ancient truth. St. John of the Cross, Teresa's contemporary, spoke of the living flame of love, an inner light burning in the heart of one who has spiritually awakened. And he said that flame, that inner light, consumes everything that isn't divine. It purifies. It transforms, it elevates. The Archons, in his language, were the impurities of the soul, the attachments keeping the spirit captive, and the way to free oneself wasn't with external penances, not with corporal punishments, not with extreme fasting. It was with inner presence, with conscious union with the divine, with activation of inner light. Even in modern Catholic tradition, there are contemplative priests and monks who practice what they call centering prayer. It's a form of Christian meditation developed in the 20th century by Trappist monks. It consists of sitting in silence, breathing consciously, and repeating a sacred word internally. That sacred word is the third sacred object, the inner name, the activation of Christ identity. Some use Jesus, others use peace, others use love, others use Maranatha, come Lord. The specific word doesn't matter. What matters is the intention behind it. What matters is the activation of inner divine presence that the word facilitates. And it's not only Christians who know this, it's not only Christians who practice it. In all contemplative traditions of the world, from Zen Buddhism to Islamic Sufism, from Vedanta Hinduism to mystical Judaism of Kabbalah, there are practices speaking of the same thing, with different language but the same essence: conscious breath, sacred inner space, activation of the divine inner name. Because this truth doesn't belong to a specific religion, it's not property of an institution, it's not monopolized by one tradition. It belongs to the human being. It's part of our spiritual nature. It's part of how we were designed. And Jesus, as a master of the inner path, as revealer of the deepest spiritual truth, simply revealed it in a clear, accessible, and powerful form. He simplified it. He made it practical. He made it available to everyone, not just religious elites. So if someone tells you this is strange, if someone tells you this isn't Christian, if someone tries to scare you saying it's dangerous or demonic, remind them of this. Recognized Christian mystics practiced it for centuries. Contemplatives taught it. Saints lived it. Desert fathers experienced it. This isn't new. It's ancient. It's traditional in the deepest sense of the word. And now you're also living it. You're also part of that ancient and continuous current of spiritual awakening. Tell me in the comments what part of this message reached deepest in you. Was it the first sacred object, conscious breath? Was it discovering your inner secret room? Or was it remembering that Christ lives in you? Write it. Not for me, for you. Because when you write what you feel, when you put it into words, you seal it in your consciousness. You make it more real. You anchor it deeper. And besides, your testimony might touch someone else. It might be exactly what another person needs to read today, to be encouraged to take the step. If you're here right now, in this precise moment, listening to these words all the way to the end, it's not random. It's not coincidence. It's not the YouTube algorithm. It's not just because the title caught your attention. There's something deeper operating here. Maybe you came to this video searching for something specific. Maybe you were looking for information about spiritual protection, or about the Archons, or about Jesus's hidden teachings, or maybe you weren't searching for anything particular. Maybe this video simply appeared in your feed, and something in you said, "Watch this." But one way or another, in some mysterious way we can't fully explain with logic, something brought you here, and that something is an inner calling, a silent voice, a deep intuition. Not everyone hears it, not everyone feels it, not everyone is ready to pay attention to it, but you are. You're one of those who feel there's something more, who don't settle for surface answers, who seek real experience, not just inherited belief, who feel, even if you can't always express it in words, that religion as you were taught it isn't enough, that there's something deeper waiting for you, that there's a broader truth, more transformative, more real, and that's not something you consciously decided. It's not something you chose with your rational mind. It's something that was already in you, something that's always been waiting for the right moment to awaken. Jesus knew this. That's why he didn't speak openly to the crowds. That's why he used parables. That's why he said, "He who has ears to hear, let him hear." Not everyone hears, not everyone understands, not everyone is ready, but you're here, and that means something. It means your soul recognizes this truth. It means something in the deepest part of your being is saying, yes, this is real, this is for me. Maybe you've felt for a long time that you don't completely belong to this world, that there's something in you that's different, that longs for something most people don't even seek. Maybe you've felt alone in your spiritual search, like no one around you really understands what you feel, what you seek, what you need. That's not a defect. It's not a weakness. It's not a problem you need to fix. It's a sign. It's the sign that you carry the seed of the divine within you. And that seed is beginning to awaken, beginning to open, beginning to grow. The three sacred objects Jesus revealed aren't for everyone. They're not for those satisfied with surface religion. They're not for those who only want external rituals and rules to follow. They're for those ready to activate their inner light, for those willing to do the inner work, for those who feel the calling of the Christ within. And if you're here, it's because you're ready. Maybe you didn't know it consciously. Maybe you doubted. Maybe you thought you were the only one feeling these things. Maybe you felt weird, strange, different, but you're not alone. There are thousands of people around the world in this precise moment who are awakening exactly like you, who are remembering who they truly are, who are activating the same sacred objects you just activated. And together, even though we don't know each other physically, even though we're separated by thousands of miles, we're creating a collective field of light, a field the Archons cannot penetrate, a field that's elevating the consciousness of the entire planet, a field that's bringing back Jesus's true teachings. You're part of that, not because you're special in the sense of being better than others, not because you're chosen and others aren't, but because you chose to listen, because you chose to awaken, because you chose to remember, And that choice, that conscious or unconscious decision to pay attention to this inner calling, changes everything. From this moment, your spiritual life isn't the same. It can't be anymore, because now you know, now you feel, now you have the tools. The three sacred objects are activated in you, and every time you breathe consciously, every time you enter your secret room, every time you remember that Christ lives in you, you'll be protected, you'll be elevated, you'll be walking the path that was always waiting for you. Welcome, welcome to your true home. Welcome to the inner kingdom Jesus promised. It's not far away, it's not in heaven after death, it's here, it's now, it's within you. We've reached the end of this video, but not the end of the path, because the inner path never ends, never completes. There's always something deeper waiting for you, always another room in the castle, always more light to discover. What you discovered today, what you experienced in these minutes, is only the beginning. It's the entrance door. It's the first step on a path that can transform every aspect of your life. The three sacred objects Jesus revealed are yours now. They don't belong to any church. They don't belong to any religious institution. They're not property of any teacher or guru. They're yours, completely yours. And every night before you sleep, when the world quiets and you can be alone with yourself, you can activate them. Breathe consciously. Feel the breath of life entering you. Feel spirit flowing with each inhalation. Enter your secret room. That inner sanctuary no one can violate. That sacred space that's completely yours. And declare your true identity. Remember who you really are. I am light. I am a living temple. Christ dwells in me. And when you do this, when you practice this with constancy and consciousness, you'll be creating a field of spiritual protection so strong, so elevated, so pure, that no Archon, no low-vibration energy, no dark force can approach you. Your sleep will be deeper and more restorative. Your awakening will be clearer and more conscious. Your life will begin to change from the inside out. Because when you activate these three sacred objects, you're not only protecting yourself from external forces, you're transforming yourself internally. And that transformation doesn't stay only in you. It radiates, it expands. It touches everything near you, everyone around you, your family, your friends, the people you interact with each day. Your elevated energy field elevates everything around you. So carry it tonight. Don't leave it for tomorrow. Don't postpone it. Do it today. This very night, before you sleep, enter your room. Close the door to the external world and practice what Jesus taught. Activate the three sacred objects. Seal your field of light. And if you want to continue deeper on this path, if you want to discover other mysteries Jesus revealed about the inner kingdom, if you want to learn more contemplative practices that elevate your consciousness and transform your life, this path continues. The video appearing now on your screen will take you to the next step. It will show you something that perfectly complements what you learned today, something that goes even deeper into Jesus' inner teachings. So don't stop here. Don't allow the awakening that began today to stop. Keep going, keep deepening, keep walking, because each video is a door, and each door takes you deeper into the mystery of your own inner light, closer to your true essence, closer to the Christ living in you. I'll wait for you in the next video, with more truth, with more light, with more of the path that was always waiting for you. May the peace of Christ, the Christ living in you, the Christ that you are, accompany you always, in every breath, in every moment, in every step of your path, until our next meeting.